Alright, so we're here today to talk about the 811 crit changes. Just like the mage video I made, however, I think it might be a little more complicated since 80 carry builds are like super cookie cutter, and I actually have no clue what the ramifications of this are, and pros aren't really going to talk about it till the game's out, the patch is out. And basically, I just want to talk about the ADC and crit changes that are being made and to help you understand what they're doing and how exactly is that going to be carried out. And at the very end, I'm going to talk a little bit about possible build paths now, or if you just do the same shit that you normally did. Yeah. So it doesn't talk about any other changes that are in the game. Purely changes that affect 80 carries. And Yasuo too. So first off, we're going to ask, why? So this is the second of the MSI changes, the mid-season changes, with the mage being the first one, 80 carries are second, and then third are the fighters. So what are they aiming to change? They want to reduce early sustain and make more non-hyper carries more viable, because as it is currently, you take D shield, D blade, overheal, fleet footwork, bloodline, legend bloodline, and then you just make it through. You spike super fast because double zeal is just super cheap, and you spike super hard. So they want to make more champions more viable. Again, reduce the spike strength of i.e. double zeal, like rapid fire shiv, to reduce burst to squishies while retaining tank killing. Because how it is late game is if you are Caitlyn and let's say you're playing a lower range AD carry like Varus, it is just really, or you're playing a squishy support like Soraka. If you late game, if you walk up to Caitlyn while she has rapid fire cannon and a headshot proc, you just kind of lose 80% of your health without stepping on a trap, so that feels pretty bad. And then increase build diversity with Essence Reaver, Storm Razor, Bork, and Hollow Blades, etc. being added to try to mix it up. All right. First off, base stat changes. This applies to all bot lane marksmen, excluding non-meta 80 carries like Quinn, Kindred, Graves, Kennen, Teemo, essentially. Uh, Now, what's happening is these are flat changes across the board. Uh, I think they're more or less the same. They lose the same value. Um, Everyone loses AD, but get increased growth. I have some spreadsheets. Everyone gains armor. Everyone loses armor across the board. So trades are more stronger. You lose HP regen across the board, so you can't innately sustain back up as fast. And HP up, and but in exchange you get more flat HP and HP growth. So the HP regen means you can't sustain passively in lane. Armor means marksman trading will hurt a lot more, and but HP growth is it's sort of like a 50-50 because they removed armor, so they increase HP because HP and HP growth will help combat against both damage types. Not as effective as armor, but you got to give something back. So I have a spreadsheet. Am I still recording? Yeah. Spreadsheet of I just picked 3 random ones. I don't know if I did anything wrong with Ashe, but compared to the old values on Ashe, you break your old AD value at level 10. On Caitlyn and Xayah, you technically break them at level 7, but level 8 is when it's not like decimal points. For example, 75.08 versus 75.28, and then 0.4 versus 0.2. So yeah, so this really impacts laning phase as opposed to anything else. They are also instituting a change. For the next couple of patches, you will have 5 on-hit damage, so it doesn't feel as bad when last hitting. So yeah, this is going to make bot lane fights a lot more dangerous. Next, we're going to talk about runes. We're going to talk about runes. So they're nerfing fleet footwork again. They don't want that sustain. I'm pretty sure that they added more since I made this, but as long as you know they're nerfing it. I do know for certain MS buff is down, just flat, so you're not moving as fast, you can't cut away. You can't crit anymore, so you can't like double the healing. Uh, I think this is different. I think it has like a 20% uh, reduced healing effect if you use it on a minion. And I don't know if damage nerfs were on it prior patch. They aren't there anymore. I don't know if they're keeping them. But there is Hollow Blades. Hollow Blades is interesting. It gives you 100%, 50 to 100% attack speed for the first 3 autos made against an enemy champion. Um, no more can 1.5 seconds elapse between attacks. Hollow Blades allows you to temporarily exceed attack speed limit. So this is just the burst version of Lethal Tempo. If Lethal Tempo is if you can get it started up, you will deal a lot more DPS if you can, deal damage during that time. Uh, but for 3 autos, making it super good on burst champions and, 3-hit passive champions. For example, Lethal Tempo might be super good on a champion like Callista or Kog'Maw, uh, or normal Varus, because they want to abuse that on hit they have. They want to just get auto attacks down. Hollow Blades would be good on burst, like Twitch. Twitch just wants to sneak out of his ult, get 3 autos off, 3 auto crits. Uh, Yi, he just wants to, kill you with 3 crits. Again, it's burst. Emphasis on burst. Exit passives are also super good on this. Namely Xayah. Xayah would benefit very well from Hollow Blades. You could Q and then your auto comes out much faster, and then root. Xin Zhao, 3-hit passive, Halo Blades, Hollow Blades, type tall. Easy knockup. The main downside of this, though, if you are an AD carry, is that you will need to go precision secondary and give up celerity, that you normally get, because you go precision sorcery. If you want this, you're gonna end up usually going domination sorcery. So yeah, this is an interesting item. It's for fighters and AD carries that like burst. Next, the etc. items. Maw of Malmortius. I don't know if it applies to Hex Drinker. It doesn't say it applies to Hex Drinker on PBE or Surrender at 20, but I'm going to assume it does. They buff the MR by 5, and the shield changes from 300 plus 100% bonus MR to 350, which is actually a nerf to literally building any extra MR, because the old shield by itself was 345, now it's 350, which is the same value but doesn't scale. So again, if you build Merc Treads, not doing anything for you. If you have Merc Sim, not doing anything for you. Guardian Angel is going to have more stats, more expensive Chain Vest added. They didn't. I guess they didn't want people to abuse getting a GA. If Lee Sin's ahead, he just gets a GA after Warriors, and it just makes him really annoying. So they just gave it more stats, made it more expensive. So it's just 300 gold for 5 AD and 10 armor. And lifesteal items are cheaper. Only one worth noting is Bork being 3,200 gold. Bloodthirster is also cheaper, but I don't think you're rushing Bloodthirster anymore. Next, we're going to talk about now we're talking about the actual Zeal items. Zeal item pass through. First off, Brawler's Glove is 600 gold, and it has a unique passive. This is outdated. So yeah, that's why my cost efficiency stuff might be off. So Zeal itself is now 100 more gold. It's 1300, and it only has 15% crit, as you can see here. So it just feels worse. For an example, it went from 114% to 90% efficiency. The upgrade now has 300 extra gold, 29, except for Phantom Dancer, which is 100 gold cheaper. I'll use using Rapid Fire Cannon as an example. It went down 8% in efficiency. It doesn't change. You're still going to buy it. It's just now you have an idea how much they nerf it by. So yeah, IE is the big change. All right, so if we go back here, they say crit focus marksman will have to wait longer to scale up. So this item is not designed anymore to be built second. It still might. All right. And there's a whole bunch of gibberish here, but I'm gonna try to explain. First off, with IE, crits are net nerfs to targets below 125 armor, meaning a crit to a squishy is going to hurt less, but a crit to a tank or a fighter, a tanky fighter, is going to hurt more. I took this spreadsheet from someone else. I don't. Credit goes to you. Old crit was a 250 because of IE's bonus damage. Now it's 200. As you can see, where is it? Where did I put it? Where'd it go? Here. This was 100 AD. It doesn't matter. The percentages are exactly the same. Uh, at 0 armor, you are dealing 20% less damage, which is a feels bad, man. And at about 100 is when you break even. 125 is the exact break even point. And then you will start noticing very noticeable damage upgrade at 250, 200 to 250 armor. You're going to notice that there's a spike in damage. So yeah, you're not going to have at level 9 or like 11, between level 9 and 11, you're gonna have this much damage. You're not most people are gonna have this much. This is what your lane opponent will have. Pretty much at all phases of the game, they will have like this much. Tanks will usually be here. So Infinity Edge, not as good. So yeah, Infinity Edge is objectively bad now, early. Here are some numbers to just talk about it. In raw stats, uh, Infinity Edge is old Infinity Edge was straight better. In pure stats, if you don't want to consider crit, because you could easily make the argument 20% crit is like legit nothing, and you shouldn't be betting on it. It's 72% without crit. So, and it's mainly because new Infinity Edge has a lot more AD. With two items, so your 60% crit, Infinity Edge becomes 108% efficient without the true damage passive. Again, if you're hitting squishies. And with 50% crit, no, it's 60% crit with new IE because it doubles crit. With 50% crit with IE Rapid Fire Cannon, old IE became 123.59% efficient. The reason it's super efficient is because your 25% uh, bonus damage on Infinity Edge crits um, make crit in general more valuable. So yeah, again, disclaimer, it doesn't factor in your total DPS from overall increased crit. If you don't know, you have 60% crit with one item, 120% crit with two items, so, it's pretty nuts. It's only 10% here, but with two items, you go from 80% to 120. You could do the math. So yeah, new IE, objectively worse. It is designed to be that way. I don't know if it's going to be so bad that you don't build its second item anymore. So that's one big problem. Next up, that's pretty much it for the crit. Next up, well, I mean, there's one more, but Essence Reaver. Essence Reaver is a better standalone item. It builds from Mana Crystal instead of Crit Cloak. Mana into flat 20% CDR. Passive synergizes with auto attack damage. So one passive is basic attacks, refund 1% of missing mana. Nice. And if you cast your ultimate, your next basic attack within 10 seconds procs Essence Flare for 8 seconds, which grants attack speed and basic attacks refund 20% of your remaining non-ultimate cooldowns. The big loser here is Jin from the Essence Reaver changes. He's getting shafted mainly because he does not auto-attack as fast. Sivir and Xayah, I think they'll still build it, or at least they'll have other options. Um, they're just going to miss the crit because you can't have 70% anymore with 3 items. You'll have 60 with 3. Lucian is super good with it, and hypothetically speaking, it sounds really good on Corki, Callista, Misfortune. I don't know if Jace is going to build it, mainly because I don't know how his ult works with these stuff. Last Whisper changes. Last Whisper is total pen again, not lethality. So it doesn't scale with level. You just get 10% pure armor pen, total armor pen. If you upgrade it to last LDR, you get 35% total pen, but no Giant Slayer passive. They removed the Giant Slayer passive, so you have to rely on Cut Down if you want that. Mortal Reminder, exactly the same, but it's 25% total pen. It's a lot more expensive, and the AD is lower to compensate for total pen. So yeah, we might go back to building Last Whisper, boys. Finally, Storm Raider. So Storm Raider is weird because I don't know what to do with it. I guess it's designed to be that IE second item and is an option for champions who love early game skirmishes, but they're also crit. It's also really nice on assassins like Storm Razor Shiv. If you don't attack for 3 seconds, which scales down with your attack speed, you gain Storm's Edge. Storm's Edge will cause your next attack to critically strike for 160%. Note that if you have double zeal, I think it's double, is it double zeal? One, wait, you need 40, 40, you need 6, yeah. So with double zeal, it goes up to 200%, it's a normal crit. Yeah, if you don't attack for 3 seconds, scaling down with attack speed, you gain a crit that grants 10% movement speed. So it's really nice in skirmishes. You just go into a fight, crit, right? First attack's a crit. So it's an interesting item. I don't know if it's going to be super built, but it's an interesting item. And yeah, that is basically the thing. Here are some thoughts at basically the end of the day. Caster ADs are going to return. Essence River and Lethality are super strong. Note, Yomu is the same price as Rapid Fire Cannon, so Lethality Jin, Draven might be coming in. Misfortune. Again, Essence Reaver is really strong. She has options. Lucian is coming back definitely. Same build. Here are some thoughts. If you were like IE Shiv Rapid Fire, you might end up going BF Shiv BF Rapid Fire Cannon. You don't finish the IE because you don't really gain anything but the double crit and the true damage. I don't know, right? Basically, you finish your IE when you need the true damage steroid. Double users might want to go Storm Razors. Zaya might want to go Storm Razor sometimes. I don't know. Third item, Last Whisper. I don't know. And I definitely think we're going to see a return of Mage and Range support bullies because AD carries are a lot squishier. So yeah. 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 Woo.